Tonight I'm going to show you about my watercolor meditations, and they've kind of taken on a little life of their own, but if you go back to my NAEA video, you'll see that I just kind of mentioned it. It was kind of a teaser, and some of you have been waiting, so I'm sorry. I took a tangent because I love these vintage blue clusters, and I really want to do that tonight, but I really also want to show you this. So I chose this, and then I'll go back to the vintage stuff, but it is from Page Smith-Wyatt, and she led a workshop on this, or a little class on this, and it was with a whole bunch of teachers, and it was amazing. Usually teachers get in a room and they are chatty, even the men, but this was so nice, and it was really silent. It was towards the end of the day in a bright sunny room, and anyway, I could describe it all, but it was great. And so I made the middle part of this one there, or that night, I can't remember, because I made a whole bunch because it was so addicting. And then I started doing this on my own. So I just want to show you, I am using, let's see if I can get this, Canson extra large mixed media book paper, and I also sometimes do it on this is cold press, pretty thick as well, and I just have scraps of these from other projects that I've done in the past, and I never throw them away. So they're ending up like this, if you can see them, and they're very abstract, and the point is actually not the product anyway. So let me start you on this adventure. Here's one that's half done, and I have another one that's half done. I've been using my koi set, an inexpensive one, and then I also got at the NAEA, I got these Jack Richardson Collegiate Semi-Moist Metallic Watercolor Set of 12. And I'll open this up and show you. So those are the colors. But I don't want to start with these. So I'm going to start with my koi, and I just have some water in a brush. 3 brushes, 3 different. I've got they're all Blicks. Red Sable Round 4. Pretty small. This one is Blick Scholastic Wonder White Round 6. And this one is probably Blick as well, because I got these in the class. Blick Economy Camel Hair Round 8. So I have a 6, or an 8, 6, and what did I say this was? 4? 4. Okay, so I'm going to show you how I start and how she taught us to start, and then we can come back to something like this. So you get a piece of paper, and the idea is it's a meditation, so there's not a lot of talking, except for my cat might meow. My water dish is right in the way of the light. That's better. So you take some water, and you get the area that you want wet first, just with clear water. And she suggested, if you didn't know what to do a circle. So I've been sticking with these circles, just putting water on the paper. And then you go to your watercolor. And she said you can do it however you want. I chose to take a color that was kind of wanting me to paint it, and start dropping in color. And I think the thing that made us all, hi Lucy, that's my cat meowing, pause and be quiet and meditate, was the way that it spread. So not everybody did circles. Some people did, look at that, lines, like vertical lines. It's really fun at the edge of the water, especially where it pools. So what's happening is, you know, the water is attracted to water. So where there's more water, the page is kind of dipped down because it's kind of buckled. And then the water is pooling there, and then that is creating this effect. And like if I were to put more just clear water or water down, you know, up here I can add more water and then add more color. You can add color in color. Sometimes, there we go. And you can see it's starting to travel right along there. It traveled up the middle, which, you know, I don't control. I only really control what color I put down. So we'll try some of this. And how I put it down, like a swipe like that versus a dot. Also how much water's on my brush. Sometimes with the pigment makes a difference. Maybe I'll go there. I like to actually get them, ooh, look at that go, fully covered with pigment. I try to fully fill in on this first layer, but you by no means have to. But I just like it, like almost like a background. And you'll notice I'm not talking a lot because it is like a meditation. And you can, if you want to encourage the water, like I could move my book up that way if I wanted to, or move it in one way or another. But the idea is just to watch. And to me, it helps me calm my breathing. Here, I'm going to do a little smaller brush now. And kind of reflect on the day. And maybe give myself a little pep talk for the next day. Or figure out what my priorities might be for tomorrow. So I think it's just another way to do meditation. It's not like it's anything special, although it's very special because it's so amazing. For an artist, I love it. It comes very easily and naturally to me. And that's what I love about it. So I have in the past like sopped up this water if it's too much, or you can use like a thirsty brush, right? You know how to do that. You just take, that's not a very good thirsty brush. Take your brush and dry it out. I'm like wringing it out like this over the water cup and then soaking up some water that way. That works well. A really thick, this one is the 8 camel hair round, but if it's a big floppy brush, it'll work. So that is what I usually do, and I let it dry and I put it aside. And then if I'm still feeling like painting that night, I'll leave this in this first stage. And let me move this out of the way. And then the next one I'll work on is the one I did the night before or the time before, because I don't always work on these every single night. I don't get that luxury, but this is one I worked on previously, and I like to add a little bit of water around the edge, and it kind of softens the edge a little bit. And then I like to go around in circles till I get this, and this is when I use the Jack Richardson ones, because I don't know if there you can kind of see how it flashed out. These are the metallic. And a lot of times what I'll do is, let me get my metallics out here. I'll so put some water in them, just getting them a little bit moist. I'll put the water in that I want. A lot of times I go back over. I love the white. It's like a pearl. It's beautiful. This light yellow is beautiful too. Okay, so a lot of times what I'll do is I'll go back in on top. So this is another thing you can do. It's dry on top here. So I can just go over like that. And it's going to give it that sheen. There's some there I want to do. And there's some there. There's some there. And then there's a ring of water around the edge. So it carries. Kind of doing this fast. This isn't as meditative. And then there's my green. So I might do the edges. Well, it's not going to. Thing. But, you know, you can meditate this way too. It's just, it doesn't have that blob of white, or clear, I mean. So, it's different. Then I would take a different color. So I'm going to take this light yellow, this beautiful, like, there's a name for this gold, but I don't know what it is. And I just paint within that circle. And my goal with painting that, this is beautiful actually, wow. See, I never would have done this consciously or like on purpose. I never would have planned out something like this. You know what that looks like to me? It looks like the earth. So that's kind of cool. I might just do a little bit of golden gold, because you know that's a thing. Right on the edge here, because it'll blend in with the yellowy gold. But this is more of a middle gold, although it's not, it's mixing with the green. Just want it to glow almost from the inside. Maybe I'll do a little bit of this more, not rose gold, but what I wanted, whatever this color's called. There's lots of oranges and 2 greens, so I like that because they're like earth tones, which clearly here's the earth, so that must be one of my themes emerging. I'm gonna go back to this yellow and paint out the yellow. So I mean, I just keep intuitively painting. Nothing is planned, but they're all different. You know, it'd be really nice with some of this white on the edge. And sometimes this is, you know, there's no water underneath this now, so I'm just kind of more going wet on dry. I'm making some circles, and that's all I do. And let's see if I can, I wish my light was better. I am working on the light, but not yet. You can see that it's wet, but it's also metallic-y. So that's fun. So that's how I do my watercolor meditations. If you do a swap with me, you might receive one, or you might receive a part of one. I really enjoy doing these, and that's about it. I hope you do one too. If you do one, please send me a picture. I'd love to see it. Or you should also go to Page, I can never remember which order, Page Smith-Wyatt, and I'll link her blog below. But she would like to know if you're doing these too, because she's trying to get her doctorate or something to that effect. So thank you so much for watching. Until next time, bye-bye.